Hello for the fifth Sunday of Lent. Using only the Gospel, John 12, 20 to 33. Some Greeks came to find out who Jesus was and were attracted to his message. And these Greek pilgrims or immigrants, they went to Philip and wanted to get and listen and talk to Jesus. And Philip then, he goes to Andrew, and Andrew and Philip go to Jesus to get these Greek immigrants or pilgrims in. And it's sort of interesting, Jesus gives his bottom line message, not only to Philip and Andrew, but to the Greeks, but to everybody. And I find it interesting that he starts out with an analogy, or it's like this, folks. And he gives that in the gospel right off. Unless the grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains just a grain of wheat. But if it dies, it produces much fruit. Jesus' main thrust was he was going to die, and he's going to go into the ground or the sepulcher or whatever, and he's going to produce much fruit. You know, Jesus was the servant of the Father, or you could even say the slave of the Father. He came to do the will of the Father, the way all good slaves and servants try to do or are forced to do. You know, they expect no recompense or return for honoring their master. Just think back on the many wonderful, beautiful black slaves in our history were totally dedicated to the master. And in a sense, they got nothing back. They served. And they served till death. And that's exactly what Jesus did. He served, or was the slave of the Father, until death. And so his bottom line is, you be better ready to serve until death. That was his message to Philip and Andrew, the Greeks, and to you and me. In other parts of the scripture, Jesus talks about authority and the power of authority. And Jesus is to say that your power is to serve other people and all people, as many as possible. And the more you do this, the better you'll be. And the ultimate, the happier you'll be. And that is the key of what he did, to serve and to be like a slave until death. I think that is wonderful. I know it's highly ideal to serve and be the slave of all, but so is go sell all you have, give to the poor, come follow me. So is his message to Peter, not 7 times Peter, but 77 times, always. That is Jesus, and that is his message. You know, many people try to do this, and they are sort of slaves to society, servants to society. We would like to see more of that of our politicians. I'm sure people would like to see that more of that at their priests. And our country needs to see more of that for its people. We have come here to be servants, to be slaves. When? Always. Well, we're not going to do that, but we're still called to try. We're still prone to fail over and over again. But we hold that idealism of Jesus before my mind and my heart and my life. Oh, what a power it is. Just think back on people who really served. Was it Abraham Lincoln? Did he serve our country? Did Mother Teresa serve our church? Did Martin Luther King serve our country? All kinds of examples. But even better sometimes, you know people dear to yourselves and you know how good they are and how they serve other people and don't ask for any recompense. But their ministry, their service will bloom. It will bloom like that little tine of grain or that little acorn that drops from the tree and goes into the ground and dies. And then in due time, it becomes that great big white oak tree in all its stature and glory. That's what happened to Jesus. And Jesus says that's what's going to happen to you and to me. No wonder so many people use this reading when we have a funeral and go to the cemetery and we see this body or these ashes being put into the ground. They have died. And the glory is yet to come. Highly ideal once again, but totally real. And ultimately, the message of Jesus, what he did, and what will happen to both you and me. Have a good day.